नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम अम्मा बाद अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम क़ाल अल्लाहु तआला इन्ना हुदल्लाहि हुवल हुदा व क़ाल रसूलुल्लाहि सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम खैरुकुम मन अल्लमल क़ुरआन व अल्लमह सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम व सदक़ रसूलुहुल करीम रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली अल्लाहुम्मा अरहिमनी बिल क़ुरआनिल अज़ीम वजअल्हु ली इमामन व नूरन व हुदा व रहमतन वजअल्हु ली हुज्जतन या रब्बिल आलमीन आमीन रब्बि यस्सिर वला तुअस्सिर व तम्मिम बिल खैर. Start again. Is everybody back yet?
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Okay, so I know that some of you, or maybe all of you, might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. But if you let it settle down a little bit, inshallah, this will become so easy, and you will start to enjoy it, inshallah. Why? Because our intention is not to get scared or get discouraged by some little bit out of the box information. But if we put our mind to it and just digest this in small bits and pieces, then inshallah we will see that it will start to make sense. So from this moment onward, we are only going to focus on mahmoos for now. Just for the rest of the session, we are going to focus on mahmoos. And then inshallah we'll come back and we'll repeat the whole thing again, and then we will talk about each subject in detail. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay, now how many people are like almost thinking that, oh, this is too much, or at least you think that 50% I'm okay with that? Give me some feedback before I continue. Brother Khalid, are you with us, Brother Khalid? Okay, Brother Ijaz, looks like he's muted. He doesn't. Okay, sisters, any sisters wants to say anything?
Alhamdulillah, so far.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
All right.
I think it's a big concept, and you put it in nicely. You explained that table at the beginning. It helped me a lot to understand the full concept of this chapter. And then you, like if I was reading it from the text that you showed later, I wouldn't understand, but that table helped a lot. I know it's a big concept, but I personally feel good about it.
Alhamdulillah. Very good. This is a very good feedback, because for me, this is the first time I'm teaching it also. So you have to understand from my point of view that I'm also myself is a student. So this is not an easy concept to convey. It takes a lot of patience, and this planning I've been doing from last 4 weeks, like this presentation, putting together what was not easy. So that is why I have to rely on so many these resources to tell you something. But as I said, this is our first time. By this time we are in it, session 2, session 3, this thing will start to sink in, inshallah. Okay, so today I just want you to take the big picture. We call it bird's eye view, meaning you know what we are trying to do. We are trying to learn the weak verbs, and the 3 criteria in front of us is the hamza, the double letters, and the weak letters. If that concept sinks in already, then half the battle is won. Agree?
Yes.
Inshallah.
So now let's look at some examples from the Quran. So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. We're dealing with mahmoos. And in mahmoos, what are we looking for? Hamza. Hamza in the Quran is written with alif with a haraka on it. How many harakas we have? Fatha, Dhamma, and Kasra. Okay. So in this verse, La yatakallamuna illa man adhina lahu rahmanu wa qala sawaba. Where is it from? Suratun
Naba.
Naba. And azina, is it with the hamza
Yes.
Yes.
Is it in the fa letter, fa
Yep.
position?
Yes.
So azina, is it a verb?
Verb.
Yes.
It is a verb. So what kind of verb is it? Weak verb.
Weak word.
It is the unsound verb. Why? We detected Hamza in the fa location already.
Brother,
Yes.
what about illa? That also comes with the hamza.
That's right. But we are only focusing on the underlying word right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
the other
focus
thing
on
is
the underlying word.
illa
Yeah.
is not a verb.
Yeah, but illa
And
is not a
illa
verb. Brother
is
Khalid,
not a
Jazakallah khair. So illa is not a verb. Yes. That's a good explanation.
Mm-hmm. So the Hamza is unsound word because we do not pronounce Hamza.
Say that again, Sister John.
The Hamza, it's an unsound word, the Hamza in the Azina.
Unsound verb. Unsound
Unsound verb.
verb. Yeah.
Yes. It's because we only pronounce alif and we do not pronounce Hamza?
No, we pronounce Hamza, but Hamza normally has a haraka on it. Right? Is
Yeah.
azina.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
So it's nothing to do with that. We are saying that azina is a verb because it is showing some action, and meaning of this action is permission. They will not speak except the one who is permitted by the beneficent, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he will speak aright. So permitted is a past tense. So azina is on the pattern of either hasiba or samia, if you remember from the previous class, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
So it's a past tense, azina. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Now look at the next verse. Azina is siga number 1, meaning for the male. Who's gonna permission? Allah. Who's the file? Huwa. Huwa is who? Allah. Get it?
Yeah.
Now look at this. Wa azinat li rabbiha wa huqqat. Look at this. Wa azinat. What is azinat? Isn't it the same
Permission.
thing as azina, but for the female?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
You guys see now what I'm saying? Azina was for male. For azinat for
Female.
female. And where is the hamza? In the fa position.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's look at this. So right now, look at the high level. Don't go too much into detail. All I'm trying to show you that how many times this kind of situation happened in the Quran. But up till now, we never paid attention because we didn't know what Mahmuz was.
Right.
Now we know Mahmuz and we are trying to find Mahmuz in the Quran.
Okay.
Right? And Mahmuz you will find in the verbs because that's what we are learning. Yeah? So, alam ta'lamu anna aba'akum qad akhaza alaykum mawsikam min Allah. Do you not know that your father had taken an undertaking from you in the name of Allah? Akhiza mean taken, had taken. Is akhiza a mahmuz verb?
Yes.
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 Is mahmuz because it's in the fa position.
Yeah.
Yes. So I am showing you the examples from the Quran itself where this situation occurs. So look at sa'ala. Sa'ala mean a questioner asked. The meaning of sa'ala is asked.
Asked. Mhm.
Okay. हम बोलते हैं उर्दू में सवाल करना किसी
सवाल,
से. What is
yeah.
सवाल? You're asking somebody something. So sa'ala mean asked. Who asked? He asked. Over here there is sa'ilum. So we cannot say that it's huwa. It's actually the real file is sa'ilum. That somebody asked, a questioner asked. Right? Making sense?
Yeah.
So sa'ala, what is the position of Hamza in this verb?
Fa.
Ah.
Ayn kalima.
And kalima.
Ayn kalima,
Ayn.
right? Okay. Look at this. فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. Isn't that the verse from the Quran when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that when you recite Quran, seek the protection of Allah. That's why we say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim in the beginning of reading Quran. Any questions on that? Okay, no worries. Okay, so these are some of the examples I wanted to show you. Now let me take you to my camera and look at here. if we have al-fi'lul mahmus, then can we have al-fa, al-ain, and al-lam? Yes,
Yes.
right? And the example of al-fa, meaning the hamza in the position of fa letter, is ain, mim, ra. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Then sin, hamza, lam, where is the hamza letter? In the ain
Ain.
position. Okay. And al-lam, qaf, ra, hamza. Where is the position of
Lam position. Lam.
Lam.
position.
So can we have anything other than this? Can we have any other situation? We either gonna have a fa position or ain position or lam position. Agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not more than that, right?
No.
Okay. Now, why do we have to learn this? Because we said when we are going to do the conjugation can change if is a hamza in there somewhere. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, if that happens, how do we know what to change? How do we know what to change? Then we would have to learn the rules of mahmuz. What do we have to learn?
The rules.
Rules of
Rules of
Mahmuz.
mahmuz. Okay, so the name for the rules of mahmuz are known as takhfif. What are the meaning? Takhfif.
Takhfif.
Now, if you know the tajweed, there is another rule of tajweed called ikhfa. What is the meaning of ikhfa?
Ikhfa.
To hide.
Yeah, to hide.
It is
To hide.
hide
hidden.
the-
Hidden.
Okay.
Makhfi.
So there is a noon, but we hide it. We don't say the noon properly. We hide it. Yes, that is why it's called ikhfa. It's called tajweed rule ikhfa.
Ikhfa.
Now, in contrast to ikhfa, there is another tajweed rule called izhar. Izhar. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
In that izhar, you make the noon sound.
Clear.
Yes. Okay. So the rules of mahmuz are takfif. What are the rules? The name is takfif. Now the word takfif means you are either going to hide something or you're going to replace. Now, what are we dealing with? Hamza, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
We are either going to hide the hamza or we are going to replace the hamza. Making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the rules of takfif are either replace hamza with a weak letter or replace hamza altogether.
Hmm.
Making sense? Brother Murad,
Yes.
making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Everybody else, if I don't take
Yes.
your name. So the good news for you is this. The changes only happen when you have the hamza in the fa position. If you have to learn the rules of mahmuz, you should not worry about when the hamza comes in the ain letter or ain position or lam position. Is that a good news?
Yes.
It is a good news because now I only have to focus that if as soon as I see a hamza in the fa position, I can apply the rule of takhfif. Agree? This silence is not good. Where is Brother Ijaz? How come Brother Ijaz went silent?
Making coffee.
Yeah, oh, no, my mic was mute. I'm saying yes, but my mic was muted.
So we can't let you
Sorry
mute
about that.
Brother Ijaz.
Sorry about that.
You are the lifeline of this class. So when nobody
Thank
speaks, speak. Okay. So all I'm saying now that when you have to apply the rule of takhfif, the only thing you should be concerned about that if the hamza happens to be in the fa position. If the hamza is in the ain position and lam position, we're not going to worry about it.
Yes,
Agree?
agreed.
Okay.
So, Brother Abid,
Ji bhai.
at first one, which we are dealing with, like alpha.
Yeah.
So, where is the Hamza position? At fa position, where is, it's a alpha, Hamza is at the end. And
No,
how
hamza
you
is in the
explain it?
beginning. Yes. See, oh, no, not this Hamza. No, don't confuse yourself.
Okay.
I'm saying that when you are dealing with the fail, you have the fa position, you have the ain position, and you have the lam position. Correct?
Yeah.
For the fa position, I gave you these three root letters. You have to look at here.
Amara.
And the Hamza is in the fa position. Yes?
Yeah.
Hamza
That's
is in
right.
the ain position. Hamza is in the lam position. Okay?
Yeah, that's so.
Right? So
Yeah.
we are saying that when you find Hamza in the ain, the fa position, then you have to apply the rule of taqdeer. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, another set of information you need to keep in mind. What we have been learning in the last 12 sessions? We've been learning Salasi Mujarrad. What is the meaning of Salasi Mujarrad? Only the three root letters, verbs. Yes? Now, when we were learning the three root letter verbs, did we talk about the 6 families?
Yes. Nasara, Daraba.
Remember? Nasara, Daraba, Fataha, Sami'a,
Sami'a,
Karuma.
Karuma.
Yes?
Yes.
Do we remember these? Nasara,
Yeah.
Daraba, Fataha, Sami'a, Hasiba, Karuma.
Yes.
Everybody else?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So what are we trying to do? We are trying to apply the rule of Taqfif, considering the fact that we are dealing with Salasi Mujarrad and we are dealing with these 6 families. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. So if I give you the root letters Hamza, Mim, and Noon, then I tell you this Bab Samiya, then it will become Amina Ya'manu. Who agrees with me on this?
Yes.
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 Is that number 1 for Madi? And if this is number 1 for Mudare?
Yes.
Yes. Now, what is our goal normally? We have to do this. Where did I put my stuff? Okay, here. Whenever we have the root letters, don't we have to make these tables for Madi and Mudare?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? So, if you make
These are
this,
very important. We must focus on these and learn all these, and then
Right.
we can. These are very
You're right,
important
Brother
because we are applying everywhere.
yes, because now you will understand that on day 1, why did I say that? You should
Yes.
know this. You should know this as you know the back of your hand. Yes.
Exactly.
Because without understanding these, anything further you're going to learn, you're going to stumble upon and say, hey, it doesn't make any sense to me. Right? So if you have to take Amina, have to put into Mudare or Madi, Amana, Amanu, Amana, Amanu, Amanat, Amanata, Amanna. Making sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All I'm doing, I'm putting these root words into this pattern. Right?
Yeah.
Now guess what happens? The good thing about Al-Fa or the Mahmud Al-Fa is that when you have the root words in the position of Fa, the past tense conjugation does not change. What happens? Can somebody repeat that for me?
Past tense conjugation does not change.
So do you have to worry about the past tense conjugation for Mahmud Al-Fa?
No.
No. So is anybody making notes of these rules? If you're
I
not
thought you
taking
were sending it out.
look at this.
So,
For 3 root letter verbs, there is no change in the past tense. So Mahmud Al-Fa or Mahmud is the easiest one so far. Okay, so when you're dealing with Salasi Mujarrad, meaning you're only dealing with these 6 families, what we learned in detail in the last 12 sessions, the past tense for Mahmud Al-Fa will have no change. Agree?
mhm.
So you will go ahead and put Amana, Amana, Amanu, Amanat, Amanata, Amanna, Amanta, Amantuma, Amantum, Amanti, Amantuma, Amantunna. Amantu, amanna. Okay.
Assalamualaikum
Now
warahmatullah.
I said it from my mind. I did not write it down.
बस अल्लाह का शुक्र, अल्लाह का शुक्र, अल्लाह.
Follow? All I'm saying is that the reason I said all this so
जी
quickly,
जी जी सर सरमा का इंतकाल हो गया था सर बस अल्लाह ताला मग़फ़िरत करे.
brother Khalid, we can hear you. Can you please mute yourself?
या बीमार थी, थोड़ा पेट में थोड़ा अपना कैंसर हो गया था शायद.
Any questions so far? Any questions?
No. So you said
No, we are okay.
It's okay.
Thank you.
So Homa, you had a question?
no. Yeah, just wondering. You said in the past it doesn't change. In present it does. Correct?
Okay, we didn't talk about present yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I said Mahmuzul Fa is the only thing we need to concern about. And then I said we do not need to concern about Ain and the Lam for Mahmuz. Yes?
Yes.
So we had the one good news. The second good news, when it's Madi for Mahmuzul Fa, no need to worry. It's going to be identical to the way it's supposed to be for the sound verbs. Agree?
Yes.
Now, in the Mudare, up to the Siga number 12, nothing will change. The third good news. Only the part which will change will be Af'alu, Naf'alu.
Oh.
Okay? Is everybody with me on that? In the
Yes.
Mudare, for Fa, the only Siga you need to worry about is number 13 and number 14. Tell me if you understand that part. Okay. So Siga number 13. What is Siga number 13? Amanu.
Manu.
Okay. Okay. But before understanding that, look at the actual Siga. Af'alu. Is Af'alu the Siga number 13?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Look at the root words. Hamza, Mim, Noon. Yes? Hamza, Mim, Noon. Now, if you put the Hamza, Mim, Noon in Afalu, look what will you end up. You have the Alif. You see, the Alif is coming from here. Yes?
Yeah.
The
Manu.
fa letter is Hamza. Yes?
Yeah.
And is the Hamza Sakin? Because the Fa is Sakin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this Hamza is Sakina. Yes? What is the Ain letter? Mim?
Yeah.
Mim.
You put Mim. What is the Haraka on the Mim?
Fatha.
Fatha.
And what is the Lam letter? Noon.
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 What
Ata.
is the Haraka on the Noon?
Dhamma.
Dhamma.
Amma.
Look at this. It's become Amana. Is
Amanu.
there
Amanu.
this
Manu.
situation here? Do you see there is a Hamza Sakina here?
Yeah.
Okay. But have you seen in the Quran Amana like this?
No.
No.
In the Quran, you will see like this. Amana. Okay. Now, how did this become this? That is the rule of takhfif. Okay. And that is what we are going to understand today. And again, I don't expect you to know it by heart today, but inshallah, with practice, we are going to know how we got this alif with the standing line here.
Mm.
Are you with me so far?
Yes.
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 Alhamdulillah.
So now let me tell you on a clear piece of paper, what is the meaning of this?
Brother Abed, I will leave now because I have to go for booster. And
Okay.
I will join, go through your lecture and
Inshallah.
the remaining part of this session, inshallah.
Inshallah, not a problem. Jazakallah khair, brother Ijaz.
Send
Okay.
me this, and so that when
I
I come
will.
back, then I'll
I
go
will.
through this.
Inshallah, not a problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So guys, this is a little bit technical, but once you get it, you will feel happy that this will become like solving a puzzle. Okay. So in the Quran, if you see this, alif with the line, with the standing line, that technically means that there is a fatha and there is a alif. Okay, so I'm trying to decode this now for you. That if you see a alif with the standing line, technically that means there is a fatha and there is a alif. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Now, can you write the fatha also like this? Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
this alif is already alif. Yes.
Yeah.
This combination can be written like this in the Quran. In
Yes.
the Quran, depending on which country you're from, you will either find the alif with the standing line, or you will find this. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so now look at this. It was technically supposed to be Hamza with the Fatha, then there is Hamza with the Sakina and Manu. This is Siga number 13, Mudare. And this is the rule of Takhfif, that Amana become with the standing alif and become Amanu. Now, is this equal to this?
Yes.
So would you rather write it like this, or you'd like it write it like this?
The first
The
one,
first one.
the right one.
MashaAllah. Now, remember this. I said to you, the rule of takhfif is you replace the hamza with a weak letter. Yes?
Yes.
Is alif a weak letter?
Yes.
Okay. Is ya a weak letter?
Yes.
Is waw a weak letter?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the haraka. When you see a fatha, the fatha translate into alif.
Alif.
When you see a dhamma, the dhamma translate into
Wow.
Wow.
when you see a kasra, it translate into
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So if in a verb we have two hamza, the first one with haraka and the second one is sakun, then we replace it with weak letter. What is that rule? Now, tell me, in this situation, is amana, is alif with the fatha is also called hamza?
Yes.
And is the hamza sakina is also hamza?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so do we have a situation that we have two hamza?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the situation, the first hamza has a haraka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and the second is sakun.
Sukun.
Yes.
Yes. So this will become from
Uh,
this to alif with the standing line. Agree?
Yes.
That is why we got amanu.
Yeah.
Making
Brother,
sense?
can I ask
Yes.
a question? Sorry.
Yes, yes.
So I'm a bit confused here. So in Arabic, there is aleph, ya, waw, which is vowels, and hamza is another letter, correct?
Yes, hamza is a letter, but hamza is also written with the alif with some haraka on it. Okay,
Okay.
so let's think about it. Let's think about it. So if I say, Sister Homa, this is hamza. That's what is this? This is hamza with the fatha. Yeah. If I say hamza with the dhamma, then it is yes.
Yes.
And then similarly, hamza with the kasra is yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I ask you this, that can I write this hamza fatha like this? Can I write it like this? Because what is the root letter for fatha? Alif. Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. If I have hamza with the dhamma, what is the root letter for dhamma?
Wow.
Okay. Now, if I have hamza with the kasra, what is the root letter for kasra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that is why we are saying that when you are dealing with Hamza in the fa position, you are technically applying the rule of takhfif, and the rule of takhfif says that sometime you are going to replace the Hamza with the weak letter. Agree?
Hmm.
And sometime you will replace the Hamza altogether.
Mm.
Today, in a brief effort, I have shown you that how did I got from this version of Amana to this version Amanu.
Okay,
And I
so
try to explain to you.
yeah, so the
why
amal
this-
that you put there, the first one is alif with fatha, and the second one is amza with sukun. Yes.
Yes.
So the first one it's an alif letter, and the second one is hamza letter. Correct.
Yes. So this is what it is. So I was saying that if this is Fatha and this is also Hamza and this is also Hamza, but this is Sukun, right? Isn't it like this? Right? Hamza with the Fatha and then Hamza with the Sukun. So what do I need to do? I need to apply the rule of takhfif. Yes? What is the rule of takhfif? I need to get rid of this Hamza with a weak letter. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
How many weak letters I have? Alif,
Three.
Waw, and Ya. Yes?
Yeah.
Now what is the haraka on the Hamza?
Fatha.
Fatha. So what is my choice? Alif. Yes?
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to put Alif here. But does it look nice to write two Alifs like this?
No.
No. So simply you write it like this.
Okay.
Or you write it like this.
All
So
right.
you understand now why in the Quran you sometimes see it like this or sometimes like this. Now next time when you see it, you know that the rules of takhfif have been applied on this letter because it was Mahmuzul Fa.
All right. Okay.
Is that making sense to everyone now?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
this is round one.
Yeah, a question here, Brother
Yes.
Abid. When you write mud, there are three types of mud. One is three. You stretch it 3 times, then 5 times, and 7 times. What's the difference between those two? It was 3, because here is only there are 2 alifs, so it will be stretched only 2 times.
So Brother Khalid, I think what you're talking about is the rule of tajweed. I'm only telling you the rule of grammar. I am saying that in the different Qurans, this kind of concept will either be translated by putting a straight line on the alif or with the mad. Okay. Now, based on the tajweed rules,
that's my
yeah.
question. So when there are 2 alifs, then we don't write mud. The mud is only when there are 3 alifs are there, and that's where the difference comes. And I don't know what is the difference for 3 alif, where that 3 alif comes up, or 5 or 7.
So for the sake of clarity and not confusing anybody, all I'm trying to say, live in the context I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the context of Mahmuzul Fa, and I'm saying the rule of Mahmuzul Fa is you have to do takhfif. And in the takhfif, you have 2 things. You either going to replace the Hamza with a weak letter, or you're going to replace the weak letter altogether, or Hamza altogether. Okay. And when I'm doing the mathematics here to show you that how I got from this to this is how the grammar people have explained it to me. So we need to just accept it and move on for now. Yeah. Yeah. Brother Khalid?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's stick with the context and the concept. Okay. And I'm trying to do this first session as a, first of all, we have been coming back after a long time, so our brains may not be the same capacity. Also, we're trying to put the concept on the piece of paper. It's going to slowly sink in and then it'll start to make sense. So let's summarize what we have learned today. We have learned what is the difference between a sound verb and unsound verb. Okay. We also learned that anytime I encounter in the root words or root letters a Hamza, a repeat letter, or a weak letter, I know that this is a unsound verb. Is that so far? I think everybody should have no problem with that.
Yes.
Right? That's a high level concept. Yes, no problem there. Do we need to memorize misal, ajwaf? That is secondary. We can always get into that on the second session. The third thing was, why do we need to worry about weak letters? Why? Because when we do the conjugations can be different for these kind of situation when you have a hamza, or when you have a repeat letter, or when you have a weak letter. That's the second high level concept. Did we understand that?
Yes.
Yes. The third concept was that, okay, when we focus on mahmuzul fa, that's the only verb which there some changes will happen in the conjugation. Agree? We will mahmuzul lam and mahmuzul ain, we're not going to worry about it. Yes? Okay. Then the third thing we said, that we are dealing with salasi mujarrad. And in the salasi mujarrad, we know that the mazi, all 14 variations, there will be no change. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
But in the mudare, only the 13, siga number 13 and siga number 14 will have minor changes. And in that minor changes, you will apply the rule of takhfif. And when you think about takhfif, you are either going to replace the hamza with a weak letter, or you're going to replace the hamza altogether. So today we have looked at the situation where we replace the hamza with a weak letter. Yes? And the rules for replacing it, when you have hamza with a fatha, the replacement for weak letter will be alif. When you have hamza with the dhamma, the replacement will be waw.
Oh,
When you have the hamza with the kasra, the replacement will be ya.
Yeah.
Okay, so you will find something, sometime you will find amanu, right? And then you also find iman. Iman will be like this, right? Where is the iman coming from? Because there was a hamza with the kasra. So what is the weak letter replacing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that making sense now? Or at least you got some idea what's going on?
Yes.
Ji.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Okay, so once
so
I
when you-
send you,
So when
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
replace, sorry, when you replace the ya, how do you
Yeah.
write iman?
I wrote it right here, right? That will be like iman, right?
Oh, so that's how it's written.
Depending on,
Okay.
yeah, so depending on how, but the important point to remember is
Mm-hmm.
when you have hamza and you also have hamza after it, one with the hamza and one with the sukoon, then you apply these rules, right?
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do with two hamza right next to each other? You don't know what to do with it. You have to get rid of one.
Hmm.
And in order to get rid of one, you apply the rules. And you apply this, that if there is a haraka, you look at the haraka and you replace the hamza with that letter.
Right.
So it will become hamza with the alif. Because alif is the representative of fatha. Is that clear, guys?
Yes, yes.
Brother Fahad, are you with me?
Yes, brother.
Are you following the concept, what's going on?
Yes, yes.
Alhamdulillah. So
So
looks like
basically, this is the first siga of Salasi Mazid fi Babe Ifal. Amana.
Babe Ifal, no, we are still looking at Fa'ala, right? It's Yamanu, Afalu.
Afala, yeah. So it's the same thing as the Amana.
One second. Yeah, the Siga we looked at was, I don't have it here anymore. Let me see if I can open my presentation. It was basically this one. Okay. So this is the Mahdi one, right? Mr. Lubna?
Mutakallam, yeah.
This is the Mazi one. Now, what did we say that the Mazi, there is no change?
Yes.
Let me get rid of this. And okay. So if I show you this slide, this is the Failul Mahmuz Madi. Now in Madi, no change. We just put everything the way it is. See?
Yes.
But look in the amanu, the pattern here. There is the alif with the straight line.
Yeah. So basically, the amana is one. Amana is a root word 3, and then the ad is a harfi atan from mazare.
Yes. So if you look at my camera again, okay, let me see if I can show you this. So look at this.
Yes.
There is a alif or hamza with the fatha sign, and there is a hamza sakina. So how
Yes.
does it become? It becomes hamza with the fatha sign, and what is the root letter for fatha? Alif.
Alif.
And then alif can be now written instead of these two. It can be written with the mud or with the standing line. Yes. And when you have the dhamma and you have the sakina, so what is the letter dhamma representing? What letter is representing? Wow.
Wow.
So it becomes u. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Look at this. With the kasra, what is the representation of kasra in a letter? Yeah. So that become e. Follow?
Yes. Mad is a different. Mad is a tajweed rule.
Yeah, mad is a tajweed rule. Oh,
No,
we are at
that's-
11:52. Let me quickly, I want to cover the little bit of the Quran here. So can we quickly go over some of these verses? Okay. So inshallah, after the class, I'm going to send you all the material, and we are going to repeat this again next week. And inshallah, you practice in the meantime, and you will realize that it will start to make sense. So the verses I took today is from the Surah Anfal, and the meaning of Anfal is the spoils of war. And in the second verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the people who have remembrance of Allah, zikr of Allah. Yeah. Now we do zikr of Allah, but now let's look at what message Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us in these verses. So as we do this all the time, let's just quickly read through it. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Innamal mu'minuna allazina iza zukirallahu wajilat qulubuhum. Do we recognize wajilat?
Yes.
The verb. Siga
Verb.
number 4.
4.
Right? Because qulub, let's look at the translation. Innama means only. Al mu'minuna is the believers. Allazina mean are those who. Iza mean when. Zukir Allahu, when the zikr of Allah is mentioned to them. What happened to their hearts? They feel fear in their hearts. What do they fear? What do they feel?
Fear.
Wajilat. Wajilat means they find or they feel the fear of Allah in their hearts. Wa idha tuliyat alayhim ayatuhu. What is tuliyat? From tilawa. Recited. जब हम कुरान पढ़ते हैं तो हम क्या कहते हैं कि तिलावा की हम. Tuliyat mean when they recited what? Zikr of Allah mean when the verses of Allah or the Quran are recited to them. Ayatuhu, his verses. Zadathum. Urdu में ज़्यादा क्या होता है? What is ज़्यादा? Increase. Zadathum. They increase them in iman. Imanau. Sister Jihan, you see the word iman here?
Yes.
What is the hamza here? What is the harakam the hamza? Kasra.
Kasra, yeah.
Kasra
So
will
it's replaced by
translate.
yeah.
Mashallah. If you take the ya out of here, if you think in your mind, there was a hamza sakina here. Everybody can see that now, Brother Murad? Sister Homa?
Absolutely.
So this ya, technically, it was the alif, hamza or hamza with the sukoon on it. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so now the ya is coming because of the rule of takhfif, and the rule of takhfif was you replace the hamza with a weak letter, and the weak letter for kasra is ya. Okay, so what happens when the zikr of Allah is done? They feel the fear of Allah in their heart, and when the ayahs of the Quran or the signs of Allah are mentioned to them or recited to them, it increases their iman. Wa ala rabbihim yatawakkalun, and upon their Lord they put their trust. Can we relate to this verse? When you are remembering Allah, when you read in Quran, and when the Quran is making sense to you, is your iman going up or down?
Up.
Is your heart trembling with love and fear? Are you feeling closer to Allah?
Yes.
And there are two kind of people. One kind of people whose hearts are hard. When their zikr of Allah is done, they go to the other direction. They go far away from Allah, like the kuffar of Makkah. Doesn't matter what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, they always took it in the negative way. Correct? Did their iman increases or decreases? They get more stubborn, or they get more full of iman?
Full of stubborn.
So they become stubborn because whoever heart Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not open for Islam, they went the other way. They went in the opposition of it. While the other people like Hazrat Bilal and Hazrat Ali and Hazrat Usman and mashallah, a bunch of other Sahabas, when these same things were recited to them, it increased their iman. Yes?
Yes.
So there is a message for us here that believers are only those who, when Allah is mentioned, their hearts become fearful, and when His verses are recited to them, it increases them in iman. And upon their Lord, they trust. Now we should say that, Ya Allah, we want to be among this group. Why? Because when the zikr of Allah is happened in front of us and we are reminded of His signs, and if our heart does not change, or if we are not paying attention to any of that, then what is wrong with our hearts? That our heart, unfortunately, is getting in a direction which is away from the qualities of a believer. Agree?
Yes.
Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
So, inshallah, we want to be
Agreed.
part of this group. We want to make sure that when the zikr of Allah is done in front of us, our hearts feels the presence of Allah with both fear and hope. And when we are reminded by the verses of Allah, our iman should increase. And then we should put more trust in Allah. If we are feeling hopeless, we become hopeful. If we are feeling distant from Allah, we feel closer to Allah. Yes? And for that, what we have to do? We have to continue the zikr of Allah. Now, having this class for 2 hours, was that part of zikr of Allah?
Yes.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Because you're learning the intimate things about Quran. Now let's look at the next word. Allazina yuqimuna salata wa mimma razaqnahum yunfiqun. And then what happens to these people? These are the same people, then they establish the salah, and whatever we have provided them, they spend out of it. Do we do this? Do we do this, guys? Do we establish salah?
Yes.
And do we do
Yes.
charity left and right?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Now, do
Yes.
you think is everybody doing that? Is everybody praying even though they are Muslims? Or is everybody charitable even though they are Muslims?
Maybe not.
No, maybe not. But this is the blessing that if we are among that group, we should be happy. Why? Because the fear of Allah and the hope of Allah is in our heart. When we are connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, now look, what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving the certificate to them? He's saying, "Ulaika humul mu'minuna haqqa." Those people are the true believers. Who's saying this?
Allah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
Allah
is
subhanahu wa ta'ala.
confirming that if you have these characteristics, that when my zikr is given to you and you are reminded by my verses, and your iman increases, and you put your trust in me, and you establish salah and you do the charity, then you are the true believers. Do you need anybody else certificate to prove that to you?
No.
Does that make you feel happy?
Yes.
Yes.
Lahum darajatun inda rabbihim wa maghfiratun wa rizqun kareem. So in near Allah, for them are the ranks, and there is forgiveness, and there is the best provision, noble provision. You hear that, guys? You're reading Quran and the Quran is talking to you. Now, I know one thing for sure, that by now, most of these things you understood without me explaining it to you. or without even doing the translation to you, because we know that what mu'minuna means. We know what is the wajilat. We also know what tuliyat. We know what qulubuhum. We know what ayatuhu. Alhamdulillah, we understand all of these words. And now we also know the meaning. And now, not only the meaning, it's actually, I feel more connected because I understand it directly, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to me. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Inshallah, with these 3 verses, I leave you with the best of Iman. And if you feel like reading the tafsir, inshallah, go to the tafsir tab here and you can read the tafsir. We could not look into our details here, but you have this tool. You guys can always go ahead and look at this tool and see the different details. Looks like it's not working. Let's see. Okay. And then also we have this tool, which you have access to, and I will reshare it for the new people. So inshallah, you will be able to get in a lot of detail about these things. So anything correct I said is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything wrong I said is purely my fault. Please forgive me. And I hope that you find the session beneficial. There was a lot of information, but I'm sure that most of you are walking away for at least 50% or better understanding of the subject matter. So jazakallahu khairan, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. See you next time inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Jazakallah khair.
Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.